Hello, you gorgeous, gorgeous thing. Welcome back to another Growth Gang podcast episode. The reason I look like a hot mess is because I just spent like half an hour just dancing in the mirror, and it was honestly the best thing ever. And it is perfect for what I want to talk about. Sorry, I was about to cough. I want to know, how often are you intentionally putting yourself into a state of expansion, energy, high frequency, let's fucking go energy? How often? Like, are you doing that daily? Because this is the secret key to unlocking the most insane levels in your life. And something that I've noticed over the past month or so is that I've been sick twice, and I don't get sick often. Tom and I don't get sick that often, and it hit us for six. We had 2 weeks off the gym. I had 2 weeks off the gym. Tom had a week. He wasn't sick the second time round. I was, and I wasn't sleeping well because I was sick, and I was like up coughing and whatever. And I wasn't eating much, and I wasn't eating well because I wasn't hungry. When I was hungry, it wasn't for much. So I definitely wasn't fueling my body for sitting on the couch, which was what I was doing for a lot of the time, just trying to just let my body do its thing. And I wasn't moving my body. Like, I was just full rest mode. I was like, let's just totally go into like hibernation rest mode, let my body do its thing. And what was so interesting was the mindset when I was in that state. Now, I have had the craziest 6 months in business. It has been arguably the hardest, quote unquote, the most challenges have risen in the past 6 months. And what's really interesting is that the way that I can attack those challenges completely changes, and the way I see those challenges completely changes depending on what state I'm in. So when I was sick on the lounge, literally could not, like, my body was just aching. I could hardly even go for a walk, let alone like my normal routine. Wasn't eating, wasn't sleeping. And every single problem that arose, no matter how small or how big, my default was, oh my gosh, not another thing. That was like my default, where I was like, oh, okay, cool, interesting. That's my default, where if I was just running on autopilot and I hadn't done the emotional intelligence work that I have up until this point, that's the way I would have viewed the challenge, and that's the way I would have reacted to the challenge. Oh my God, not another thing. It could have been the smallest hiccup, challenge, things that we all go through in business. Now I'm better. I've been going to the gym. I've been sleeping like a fucking baby at night. I've been fueling my body with so much food, like as much as I can possibly get in. And I'm like bouncing off the walls, if you can't tell. And the challenges that are in my life, in my business, normal stuff, don't feel so fucking heavy. And this just goes to show that people that are running on autopilot, I don't know how they run a business. People who aren't moving their body, I don't know how they're running a business. People who aren't sleeping, people who aren't fueling their body, people who aren't drinking water, I do not know how they are doing business, honestly. And what I want you to think is, rather than waiting to feel like you're in that frequency, like waiting, where it's like, I'm waiting to be motivated, I'm waiting to be inspired, I'm waiting to be at a high frequency. What are you doing day to day to put yourself into that state? If you take no other training, this is the most important. Like, this right here is just pure gold. Like, I could put it into a whole training on its own and sell it, because it is going to be so pivotal for you in your business when you apply this. Every single day, your job is to put yourself in a powerful state. That's it. That's it. But how often are you just waking up to your alarm and rushing to wherever and going through your day and just like ticking tasks off and sitting at the computer all day and then eating whatever you kind of can or is around or is quick on the go, and then chaos arises and oh my gosh, it's so hard. It's hard because of the state that you're in. Everything that you see external of yourself, the way that you perceive it, as in the way that you take it in, is purely a reflection of the state that you're in at the time. Here's the perfect example, and I've given this before. I have, by default, I will say, without conscious awareness, road rage. I cannot stand slow drivers. It frustrates me to no end. Like slow drivers who just don't know what they're doing. I'm like, get out of my way. I've got places to be. And I live in a town where average age is like quite high, right? There aren't like young chickens just running around everywhere. It's quite the like, we joke and say it's like a retirement village. There's just a lot of older people. And if I was running on autopilot, this is my first point, I would be on my horn all day long and I would be screaming at people, and then imagine how that would impact my life, right? That's the autopilot aspect. If you're on autopilot, that's how I would be perceiving things, because I'm not consciously awareness. I don't have the conscious awareness of it. This is why learning about mindset and emotional intelligence is so crucial. Crucial. My other part to this story is, let's say that I have woken up and I've rushed around and I've not eaten or eaten shit or just smashed a coffee. I've had a fight with my partner. I leave in a huff. I get in my car. I turn on my angry music. And then I'm like flying out the driveway. And then let's say I get to a roundabout and someone cuts me off. In that state, I'm going to take that as like, what an asshole, what a dickhead, like, he's an idiot, blah, 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 smash my horn. Because my state is anger. So the way I'm going to perceive that is exactly that. Now let's take it on the flip side. Let's say I wake up early, I move my body, I come home, I have my Celtic salt shot, and I have my MCT oil in my T2 Melbourne breakfast tea with oat milk. And then I sit down and I read my book for a little bit with my cute as fuck dog who I'm obsessed with. And then I say goodbye to my love of my life, Tom, as he leaves for work. And then I get in the car and I listen to music that I just love. It can still be angry music. You guys know I listen to rap like 99% of the time. And majority of it's quite angry. It could be angry music. It could be like something quite chill or something that's just like puts you in your power. Then when I drive out of the driveway, I'm thinking in my head of the vision that I hold for myself, of the 100K month that's coming, of the beautiful house that I'm going to build with Tom, of the babies I'm going to have in the future, of the marriage that I'm going to have, of the places I'm going to travel overseas, of the clients that I'm going to bring in, of the impact that I'm going to have around the world. That's on my mind. I get to the roundabout and someone cuts me off. Autopilot jumps in. What an asshole. Consciously aware of it. And state I'm in is like expansion. Neutral. Calm. Grounded. How do I respond to that? How do I perceive that person cutting me off? Oh, they must be in a rush. They must be late for something very important. Human error. We all make those mistakes. maybe someone in their family is like sick and they're really late and they're like rushing to them. Maybe they're having a really bad day. Maybe they're just an asshole. The way that you perceive the same situation is totally dependent on your autopilot and on the state that you're in. So think about business. Something's going to arise. The launch doesn't go how you wanted it to go. The engagement is plummeting on socials. Your offers aren't selling. You're attracting unaligned clients. You get a complaint for something. You try to implement something on the tech end and it just like doesn't quite go to plan. Whatever the thing is that arises, the thing is the thing. It means nothing. The thing is just playing out. It's just happening in this lifetime, in this universe, in this world, in this day. It's just playing out. What it actually means, you get to decide that. You get to choose what to make that mean. The easiest way to naturally choose what it means without having to sit there and take yourself 10 layers deep every time something arises is to look at your emotional intelligence, which is based on your childhood conditioning and your current beliefs. That's what builds up your autopilot, the way you respond just naturally without thinking about it. And it's putting yourself in a beautiful state every single day. So that when things do arise, and it's not just for problems, but let's say it is for problems, when things do arise, you get to lead. You get to respond in the way that you want to respond, that's best for you and best for future you. That's what happens when you're consciously aware of your own thoughts and behaviors and conditioning and all of the things, and you're in a really beautiful state. Now, this also gets to work for good things, because when you're consciously aware of your defaults, of your reactivity, the way you naturally respond to things, the way you have responded to things or thought about things for your whole life up until this point, when you have that conscious awareness, you get to change the story. You get to rewrite the story, which is crazy. Once you get to really experience it, it's wild. That is ultimate freedom right there. And if you're in a beautiful state as well, paired with that conscious awareness, imagine the innovation that comes from that and the creativity. You'll no longer have to wait to be motivated. I can promise you that. Because you'll wake up and you'll go, let's fucking go. Let's go. I'm in. I am balls deep in this. And when I say I'm all in, I'm all in. And I'm taking the courage and I'm doing the thing. And I'm going to launch the thing. I'm going to post the thing. I'm going to sell the thing. I'm going to attract dream clients. I'm going to make as much money as I can possibly dream of. Because I'm going to decide that I'm the type of human who can do that. That can only exist when you are a conscious human and you're in a beautiful state, in a powerful state, in an expansive state. This is why for the last 30 days in Calibrate membership, I've had Momentum Unleashed, where I've shared with them different things that I do to put myself in that state day to day. They're not hard things at all. For example, before this call, I didn't even include this in the 30 days. I'm going to have to go into the membership and be like, guys, here's like a bonus one. Here's an extra one. Go and do this right now. But just before this call, like I jumped on, not this call, this training, this episode, whatever you want to call it. Before this episode, I was just dancing in the mirror. And it is the most powerful thing, being able to do something like that. Even as simple as an eye gaze. Have you ever stood in a mirror and stared deep into your own eyes? It is the most confronting thing when you've never done it. I can promise you that. So just hold yourself in it and just know that you're safe and you're going to see yourself in such a different light. So what I did is I put my AirPods on and I put 3 different songs on. One was this like kind of girly song that just like makes me feel like sexy and like, So I was dancing all sexy. And then I put a like more kind of rap song that just like I like. And then my playlist was this really old playlist, and it went to this song that I used to listen to back when I was fresh 18. And at the time, it spread out for like a year or two either side. This song was just like the thing in my first car ever. From 17 to 19, I'm going to say. I used to listen to this song, and it's called Lifestyle. You can go and look it up. Can't remember who it's by. Lifestyle. I think it's from maybe Rich the Gang, Young Thug, I don't know. And it's funny because back at that time of my life, and you'll have songs like this, it's got nothing to do with the song itself and everything to do with the conscious connection that you have to that song. At the time, I was listening to it and I felt powerful. And I was in my car on my P's, and I was driving to like this guy's house or a party or my best friends, and I was wild back then. And I had so much confidence. It was insane, off its head. It was also one of the hardest times of my life. I'm going to say second hardest time of my life was that period of time. And I felt so alone and so lost. And it was really cool being able to put that song on and stare at myself in the mirror and dance and move and breathe and reflect, where it's like, look where the fuck you are. Look who the fuck you are. Because I can promise you that you're not the same person that you were back then. And you'll have songs like this where it'll remind you of a certain time. And it's really cool just being like, fuck. If that version of me knew that this version of me existed, holy fuck. And it's so cool to think like this version of me now is nothing compared to where I'm about to go in the most beautiful, amplifying way possible. So what I want you to do is I want you to check what your autopilot is, what your default is when you react or respond to anything in life and business. Number 2, I want you to get yourself in an expansive state all the time. What I want you to remember is that you control the energy. So when we think about energy in our body, it's moving all around, right? If you think of energy and how it's moving all around our body and it already exists in us, remembering the old thing you heard in high school, I'm sure you learnt it, where energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transformed. Think about that in terms of you. You already have the motivation, the inspiration, the innovation, the energy. It already exists in you. You don't have to go and find it. Think of confidence. Confidence is just a certain type of energy. Courage, joy, power. There's certain types of energy. You already have it in you. It cannot be created or destroyed, transformed. So right now, think about the state that you're in listening to this, whatever you're doing. Maybe you are walking your dog, or you're washing the dishes, or you're just waking up, or you're just going to bed, or I don't know, driving in your car, whatever you're doing. I want you to think, okay, what state am I in right now? And if it's something where you're like, and it might not be right in this moment, it might be at some point today where, okay, I'll give you the perfect example. Right now it's 3:00, and at 2:00, I was laying out in the sun in my backyard on a big towel, and I had the stupid chickens running around me. They're just hilarious. They're so funny to watch. They were just running around me, and I had Ellie with me, and I was doing notes for Master the Game, which, oh my God, I'm so excited for. We are running it live. Pre-sale is currently open, so come and join us. Just send me a DM and just be like, Master the Game, need all the deets, and I'll send you everything that you need to know. But I was writing all of these notes for Master the Game and I was so tired. Like, you know, when you get a bit sun drunk, that was me. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. And I was like, okay, let's like have a nap or move the energy. I like closed my eyes for a bit, but like couldn't really fall asleep. So I was like, okay, let's move the energy. So I came inside, had a glass of water, just like shook it off for a sec, and then I danced. And let me tell you, this me was not me an hour ago. This me was not born like this. This me is going to be different in the next hour. But the point is, I chose to move my energy. So I don't want to hear, I don't feel like it. I don't want to hear, I'm tired. I don't want to hear, I'm over it. I don't care. You have the power to move the energy in your body. It already exists. You don't need to wait for it. You don't need to go and find it. You need to move it around your body. Go and dance. Go for a run. Go to the gym. Have a bath. I had a bath last night. Oh my God, magnesium, salts, and I was watching Gossip Girl and I was like, this right here, I'm moving the energy. So it doesn't have to be this like physical thing, although it's the most powerful thing you could do. Moving the energy could happen through mindset. Like you listening to this podcast, you might be a different human and be in a different state right now compared to whenever I started this episode, however many minutes ago. You could be a totally different human. And that's because you're plugged in to this, to a high frequency, expansive conversation. Right? So you've just done it. You've just moved and transformed the energy around your body. I picture it like this visual thing. Maybe picture a color or a texture. Maybe you've got glitter running through your veins, or it's like this pink color, or just like little, I don't know, little like fairies running around your body. Whatever works for you. I've got like a little, I'm going to say today I've got like a leopard that's just like moving around my body. That's what I've got. Today I've got little leopards. That's what I picture when I think of energy. I'm like, okay, they're asleep right now. They're snoozing. Got to wake them up. How can we wake them up? I'm not just going to wait for them to wake up. Could be waiting a long time. Instead, let's go and dance in the mirror and get them moving around. Let's go to the gym. Let's eat a really nourishing meal. Let's have a bath and let them like relax, right? Do what your body feels like it needs, but you have the power. You have the power. What I want you to know, apart from all of that and totally like sidetracked from that a little bit, is that next Friday, I'm running a group Instagram audit vortex. And this, in fact, does make sense because maybe right now, the way that your business is presenting, you're saying all of the right things and you know who you want to work with, but people aren't connecting because you're not in the right state. That could be it. So what's going to happen is it's kind of like speed dating. Grab a cup of tea, get your comfiest outfit on, jump onto Zoom, and one by one, I'm going to eyeball your Instagram. We're going to take like speed dating notes of what to change, what to pivot and shift on your Instagram. Now, the reason why this is so powerful is because having that outsider's perspective means that you can get in the minds of your clients and what your clients are seeing, your audience is seeing. Because you know how like sometimes you're too close to it. You're in it every day and you're thinking about it every day. But having that outsider's view to just be like, this is how I initially perceive it. As if I've just found you on a reel, this is my first perception. This is what I would change around. If you're wanting to reach this dream client, this is how I would word things differently. Or your content's really good, let's just change the hooks around a little bit. Or you're doing a lot of educational, how can we start to play with the activating stuff as well? Right? Whatever it might be, a tweak in the bio, more reels, more face to camera, whatever it is, right? I'm going to give you pointers and you're going to go away and do them, execute, because you're an action taker, and then you're going to see the crazy results that come from it. I'm so excited. It's going down next Friday. So if you want the link for that, just DM me on Instagram at DLilyHomes for the link and I will send it across. And it is also free for Calibrate members. So if you've been sitting on the fence for the membership, then jump on in. It's absolutely free as part of being a member of Calibrate. So it just makes sense. You're also going to get like all of the trainings and everything from Calibrate, monthly challenges, monthly riffs from me, kind of like this vibe, which is really cool. So I drop in and just give extra things that the podcast doesn't actually hear. It's exclusive to the membership. So if you love the potty, you're going to love the membership as well. But DM me all of the links. If this has resonated where you're like, oh my God, landed, yes, I love it. Again, just send me like a podcast emoji or like send the link to this exact episode and I'll just send you like a fuck yeah, let's go, to know that it's just like landing so well for you. I love you so much. I'm proud of you so fucking much for being here, for doing this, and for showing up for yourself and your business. I love you so much and I'll chat to you in the next episode.